Usha will come with me to church. As I've told her and I've said publicly, and I'll say now in front of 10,000 of my closest friends, do I hope eventually that she is somehow moved by the same thing that I was moved in by church? Yeah, I honestly do wish that.
I feel terrible for my wife because we go to church almost every Sunday unless we're on the road.
And does she go with you? I mean,
she does. Yeah, she does.
Has she converted?
No, she hasn't. No, that's why I feel bad about it.
So it looks like JD Vance's marriage is once again a matter of national importance because he just doubled down on his belief that his wife Usha will eventually convert to Christianity. And with a fourth child on the way, we're just wondering what kind of life Usha imagined for herself when she married JD. Because here's the thing, when Usha and JD got married, their marriage looked like a seamless blend of faiths and raised their future kids to respect both parents' backgrounds. But as y'all know, JD has switched up on Usha in these last few years. When he first hinted that he would want Usha to convert, a lot of people took it as him just speaking in the heat of the moment. However, since then, he has doubled down on that statement at least twice. And now people are convinced he's actually serious about Usha converting. So now we're all wondering, what does Usha have to say about all this? And what does it mean for their marriage if she refuses to convert?
JD Vance said he wants his wife, Usha Vance, to convert to Christianity. And as someone who's multiracial like their kids and also belongs to a multi-faith family as a Black Jew, I immediately had some very strong feelings about this.
Okay, so before we get into what Usha has to say about all this, we have to talk about the statement JD made that practically lit the internet on fire. In a recent interview on Fox News' The Ingraham Angle, JD discussed his new memoir, Communion, Finding My Way Back to Faith, which covers his religious journey and his 2019 conversion to Catholicism. When the host, Laura Ingraham, asked how his faith influences his decisions in a public office, he went on about how his faith teaches humility and accountability, which shapes his approach to policymaking. But then he said something that many people found ironic. He claimed that his faith supports human dignity, which is what he wants for every family in America. And then he somehow linked that to why he has an aversion to low-wage foreigners coming into the country. And in this clip that went viral on social media, you can tell how serious he was about these comments. He wasn't joking or speaking ironically.
That's why we don't like low-wage foreigners coming in and undercutting the wages of American workers. We want normal Americans to be able to live a dignified life, and I think that's a very, very Christian concept.
The moment that clip went viral online, people were quick to remind JD that his wife Usha, the same one he's currently expecting his third child with, is the daughter of the same immigrants he hates so much. And this part is important because if y'all recall, during JD Vance's campaign, videos of him talking about Usha's background went viral online. And in them, he seemed pretty accepting of her Hindu background and her family's vegetarian lifestyle. In one clip, we learned that JD had actually become close with Usha's mom and was learning how to prepare some of her favorite vegetarian dishes.
When JD met me, he approached our differences with curiosity and enthusiasm. He wanted to know everything about me, where I came from, what my life had been like. Although he's a meat and potatoes kind of guy, he adapted to my vegetarian diet and learned to cook food from my mother. Indian food.
In fact, the Republicans actually leaned into this aspect of JD and Usha's relationship as proof the right doesn't have racist leanings. They only disliked the illegal immigrants. However, all of that fell apart last year when JD Vance openly admitted for the first time that he believed Catholicism was the only true way of life, and that he had hoped his wife Usha would abandon her Hindu beliefs to become a Catholic Christian.
Sundays, Usha will come with me to church. As I've told her and I've said publicly, and I'll say now in front of 10,000 of my closest friends, do I hope eventually that she is somehow moved by the same thing that I was moved in by church? Yeah, I honestly do wish that.
And those comments became the center of all the backlash. We all wanted to know, how does Usha feel hearing her husband talk like this? And it wasn't just that comment that made people upset. It was the fact that, around the same time, JD went online and defended those comments and tried to gaslight all of us into believing he was just speaking innocently. Responding to a now-deleted tweet asking him why he threw Usha's religion under the bus to score points with groypers, JD called the backlash disgusting and an example of anti-Christian bigotry. Then he tried to do some damage control by adding that Usha herself had been encouraging him to explore his religious side. But the part he didn't want people to focus on was that Usha had repeatedly said she loved her religion and didn't have any plans to convert. And she made that clear again recently during a joint interview with her and JD, where she said she was very happy with the stability and clarity she got from her religion and had never felt driven to explore the way JD had.
I grew up in a household, a Hindu household, a very stable household, and I've not felt the same sense of need to seek something different that he has.
And although Usha never raised her voice or appeared angry, people took that comment as her firmly taking a stance. She would not abandon her faith for JD no matter what. Of course, it didn't take long for people to start blaming JD for even putting Usha in a position where she had to justify who she was in the first place, because people couldn't understand why he would marry a Hindu woman just to go around telling the entire country that he wants her to change everything about herself for him. One comment straight up accused him of wanting to shove his lifestyle down her throat. Another person didn't even hold back when criticizing him. They said, chasing power matters more to him than protecting his wife. To make himself more electable, he's trying to rewrite her identity, claiming she's agnostic or atheist, hoping she'll eventually accept Christianity, and even lying that she wasn't raised religious. And honestly, that comment pretty much sums up how people now feel about JD's comments on Usha. But the scary twist to all of this is that, for a lot of people, it's not just about him wanting to look more electable. It's about what happens when Usha really refuses to convert to Catholicism. Because the way some see it, JD ever supported Usha's identity was to make himself look more appealing to younger voters. But now that he has gotten the political power he wants, he's suggesting that she drop her brown, Hindu vegetarian identity to the more palatable, Christian, traditional, American image that appeals more to conservatives. Meanwhile, Usha is out here insisting that she wants her kids to learn as much about Hinduism as possible, and that emphasizing that she's good right where she is. And that's the part that scares people the most, because with the way things are going, there's no telling how JD might react if she doesn't fall in line.